What's going on, fam? It's your boy Lazy Lightsaber back at it again for another one. Let's just dive right in, skip the intros and all that, because this is a big deal. Activision Blizzard deal is going through with Microsoft, and now Microsoft is promising to calm everybody's nerves down that, hey, we're going to sign a deal with Nintendo to make sure that Call of Duty is coming to Nintendo platform. And it's basically done. They came out and announced it on Twitter. The CEO of Microsoft made it clear that, hey, our services and games for Call of Duty will be on all platforms so that nobody goes ahead and blocks this deal happening in Europe or here in the States or anywhere else where there's some type of regulatory body that will stop this deal from going through. And people are going nuts in the comment section on Twitter, YouTube, everywhere else. They think of this like a big deal, and some people, I don't know, they're acting weird, they're acting funny, like they don't understand. This is plain and simple. What is the problem? Why can't Call of Duty be on the Switch? Is it going to be the same Call of Duty that you have on the Xbox? Probably not. Is it even coming on Switch? Probably not. From the looks of this, it's definitely coming in the next Switch version. And even if that Switch version is not as powerful as the PlayStation 5, it's maybe right underneath it, and they have to make a whole new Call of Duty just for the Switch. That's what it's going to do. That's what they're going to do to push this through, and that's what they're going to do to make this deal go through for them. And Nintendo is happy because they know they're going to sell consoles as well. For the next 10 years, they're going to have Call of Duty games and other Activision Blizzard games coming on to the Nintendo Switch that otherwise they would not have. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that StarCraft, the first StarCraft, was actually on the Nintendo 64. And I used to love that game on PC and actually bought it on the 64. Now, it wasn't the best experience on the 64 because the controller scheme and the whole thing, it's a game that's meant for PC. So, but it worked and it did what it was supposed to do. Now, of course, Call of Duty is a game that can be played on both PC and console with no issues. But this is definitely, in my opinion, a win-win. It's a win for Nintendo and it's a win for Microsoft. And this is also a strategy that's going to favor Microsoft because they have now Nintendo backing them. Now they can go out and say, hey, look, Nintendo has signed an agreement for 10 years where we're going to give them Call of Duty. Why can't Sony do the same thing? See, now they're using this as a weapon. They're weaponizing Nintendo to use them as a favorable deal so that their acquisition can go through with no issues. So it's definitely a double-edged sword. Nintendo, in this deal specifically, is not risking anything. They have nothing to lose because there is no Call of Duty on the Switch. There hasn't been a Call of Duty for Nintendo consoles for a minute now. So they were gaining nothing from this deal if it went through without their help. But now that they got Call of Duty, of course, it's going to help sell their console. It's going to help sell Nintendo products and services to new people that otherwise maybe were like, oh, you know what, I like the Switch, but I'm just a COD slave, and that's all I do is play COD all the time. So I'm going to get an Xbox or a PlayStation because that's where COD is. And there are super casual people that just get this console to play COD. And the same goes for EA. There are people that get these consoles just to play NFL or NBA 2K. Like, that's it. There's no other reason why they buy these things. Just to play one sports game and then one COD. And maybe they throw a GTA in there every once in a while just to mix it up. And that'll be like the 3 games that they have. And they'll rarely play it. And when they do, they're only playing these games. So for that specific person, the Switch isn't necessarily the best option. It would be the least option because, let's face it, those games are not priority for Nintendo. Nintendo prioritizes their games over anything else. And third party has been decent on the Switch, but it hasn't been able to draw the, high graphical 2Ks, high graphical Call of Duty games. So the casual gamer that goes for that can now consider Nintendo as a viable option going forward in the future for something that they might want to get into. And in return, Xbox / Microsoft makes money from you buying Call of Duty on the Switch because that still goes into their pocket at the end of the day. And any type of DLC or downloadable content, any type of loot boxes or any type of other things that you can buy that come with the game, skins and stuff like that. They're going to make money off as well. So they win on that side, and then their deal gets pushed through. My only concern with this whole thing is what happens after 10 years. 10 years is a long time, but it's also not that long. In 10 years, things can look different. Nintendo may not even exist in 10 years, or if it exists, it may be completely different on how it exists today, or maybe the same. But at that point, Microsoft is no longer obligated to put Call of Duty on the Switch, and on a Nintendo platform, whatever Switch 3 or 4, whatever we'll have in 10 years, but they won't be obligated to do so. So now you're locked in that if you want to play Call of Duty, you have to buy a Xbox console or a PC, or buy some type of Xbox Game Pass to be able to play it. Well, guys, that's kind of my whole 2 cents on this. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Hit that like button if you enjoy the content. And as always, may the force be with you. Peace.